Fuck! I had, like, this promo sneeze just ready to take off, and I was in a different tab, and I'm like, if I'm gonna sneeze, it's gonna be on recording, and it did not work. I'm just turning this game down just a tad. Anyway, welcome back to the letter. Do I dare turn my light off? Do I dare? I don't think so. I'm sure that sneeze will come to haunt me later. I'm recording on my new computer. I'm back. My new computer is sitting right next to me. It's lighting up pretty colors and shit. It's pink, it's blue, it's purple, it's all colors of the damn rainbow. So, let's go. Let's continue. Wait a second. So when I got this new computer, all my saves on Steam got booted. I had to redo everything, including this game, so we're gonna have to fix some things. First of all, gameplay. I turned skip QTE off so I could get through it quickly, but I'm turning it back on for the sake of it, and I have to go check where we left off, so I'll be right back. Okay, we left off in town, so you're gonna have fun and watch me. Remember all the saves I had? Those don't exist anymore. They're gone. They don't exist. It's a crazy world. Luckily, all my relationships. I think I got all the answers right when I had to do them all over again. God, what a wild ride it has been. What the fuck did I answer for this? I think it was that. I don't know. Everybody shut up. We got stuff to do. Alright. Here we are. This is where we left off, I'm pretty sure. That's what I saw in the video, at least. So, let's go. I have new relationships. We're like marriage level with Isabella. Holy shit. If someone told me I'd be spending my entire morning being dragged around half downtown Luxembourg looking for furniture, I probably would have simply smiled at them. It's like, God no. Then perhaps even given them a good friendly pat on the shoulder and wish them a nice day. Good luck with that, friend. Not that I find anything wrong with this at all. On the contrary, this is most definitely a nice change of pace after weeks of getting bogged down by several freelance gigs. Shutting myself inside my apartment. I need a drink. Come here, you beautiful being. If only the weather would be a whole lot nicer. The kind with less sun and more clouds, perhaps. Oh, you're one of those people, like the rainy days, I get it. With the mid-morning sun slowly beating down on us as it's high noon approaches, I can see why Mr. Wright skipped out on this trip. With the bright side is, the whole thing seems to have put Miss Wright in a less somber mood. After the fifth store, her pace is considerably livelier, her gestures less guarded than one she displayed at the mansion earlier. Who are you? No, what are you doing here? The presence of another person might have helped as well. Alright, I forgot. She's Hannah's thing for her house. Although Miss McCullough, I think it was, seems less predisposed to small talk, preferring to keep to herself most of the time and let Miss Wright lead us whenever. Wow, my reading is it is so good that I should do like a book reading at some point. Like do one of them, you know, when you like have a book, but somebody reads the book on tape. There we go. She did acknowledge me with a small nod when we were introduced earlier, but that didn't make standing outside the store together any less awkward while we wait for our client to finish her inquiry inside.
So, interior design, huh?
Boy. She cast me a sidelong glance before returning to her notes again, her pen scratching faintly against the paper in quick, successive strokes. Oh, okay. So, that's a social cue. You talk. Somebody asks you, oh, so you're doing pet things, right? Yeah. Tell me more about it. I did say I'm not good at starting or keeping conversations going, didn't I? She doesn't look back up again. I take that as my cue to stop any attempt of striking a dialogue with her and keep myself occupied with some other thing. Except what we have here is just Luxembourg and busy streets. People going about their day like normal, cars moving in and out of sight, heading to who knows where. Nothing remarkable, really. The ease with which a person can fade into the background here is reflective of a kind of city Luxembourg will always be, but the humdrum's one thing I learned to live with. Needless to say, it doesn't usually stay that way. There are times when it would come alive, make itself known, and reassert itself back into the world. What are we talking about? However, those moments are few and far between. Then again, with what graces the new channels lately, I'm starting to think it's going to happen. It's like, I'll read something, and then I go to read another sentence, but what I just read starts processing in my head, and I'm like, ew. I can't say I'm looking forward to what it'll bring.
Luxury living,
Jesus Christ, woman! She just whipped her body around like, so! God! Her voice effectively cuts through my thoughts just as I count the 13th passerby wearing a hat today. Dedication, my dude. Besides me, I can hear the faint rustling of paper and clicking of her pen as she stashes them back in her bag.
Excuse me, what?
Hello?
The magazine you're working for. It's Luxury Living, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. You've been featured by them before, I take it?
A few years back, yes. For just some issues. My designs still appear from time to time, though not as frequent as before. Gotta have room for new talents, right?
Oh, new talents. Why is she wearing two coats? It may not show on her face, but the pride is evident in her
Good
voice.
folks, the people running the publication. Tell me, is DK still on the editorial team?
Donkey Kong? Oh my god. Donkey Kong is he's on the magazine for interior design? Well, his house was pretty dope. Also, I'm gonna do a quick apology if the sounds are off. I'm still trying to test everything, so if they're too loud, or if I'm too loud, or if you can't hear at all, well, that might be your problem. But it will be fixed.
I wouldn't know. I've only started taking jobs from them this year. Freelancer, you know.
Good
I
man,
miss Donkey
that
Kong.
guy. Anyone in our field should meet him.
She's so loud for me.
He had a lot of things to say about art, all of them relevant. Learned a lot from him, actually, even if we both came from two different fields.
She's so louder than the others. What? You know, all you can just turn the fuck down. God damn.
I hope he's in a good place. I haven't talked to him in a while. Anyway, your portfolio must have been good if they gave you the job. They don't easily assign big features to freelancers like this.
I wouldn't say I am, but experienced, you know? The more you practice it, the more you learn the tricks of the trade. That kind of stuff.
I know what you mean. Still, you've got to keep up with the competition. Each year, a new talent emerges, and, well, you never know.
I think my butt fell asleep.
Clients can be a bit fickle-minded with their choices. Believe me.
Believe me.
Speaking of, do you think you'd be up for a new client after this?
Why?
Think so? Depends on how big the project is.
Oh, my nose now itches. She reaches into her bag again. Oh my god, what is this? This time to pull up a business card, which she hands over to me.
When you're free, send your portfolio to Chris. He's my assistant. He's been looking for a decent photographer to help with updating the studio's portfolio. Nothing urgent, but the sooner the better.
I have to adjust my butt in my chair. Ugh. One cheek has fallen asleep, but the other is still awake. It's just not nice.
Time to squeeze this in, but all right, I'll give it a go once.
Marianne, could you look this over for me?
Ring. Let me turn the game down for myself. At that very moment, Miss Wright emerges from the store. When I look back to Miss McCullough, a mask of professionalism has returned to her. Or at least, that's what it's trying to be. God, one of my eyes is crying. There's a different light in her eyes as she faces her, a flicker of familiarity and recognition. I'd say it's fondness, but that would be too presumptuous. Whatever, it doesn't last, and is briskly swept under the firm tone of her voice. Her voice assumes, God
Definitely. Is there a problem?
They said they don't have the colors you suggested.
damn. Oh, God forbid.
Do you think we can change it around for a bit? It might take a while if we insist what we want, and you know I'd rather not worry about this later.
I think it'd be better if I handle this one myself.
She adjusts her gloves. I'm gonna go smack a bitch. Hold on, Miss Wright. I'll be right back.
Excuse me.
She walks into the shop without another word, leaving the two of us standing outside. Why can't we go in the shop with you? I want to see what's happening. As soon as she's out of earshot, however, Miss Wright lets out a giggle and swipes the business card cleanly off my hand. Excuse me? She smiles. I don't know. Bemused. There we go. Little thing spreading across her face. Little thing. And waves the card in front of me. I wish you'll do that more often. The smiling thing. This smiling thing? Because this just like she's got something up her sleeve and I don't like it. Suits her more than the other one she's frequently showing to the media.
I look away, and the next thing I know, you're picking up
Oh,
women.
no!
On the streets, while the sun is high, no less.
Oh my god.
I'm not sure if I should be appalled or amazed.
Both.
Whatever
I'm such a
happened to the
player.
Zach I met a day ago? About as tall as you. Photographer. Quite the gentleman.
Oh god, I don't know. Got spooked right at me, dude.
To tell you the truth, I'm a bit disappointed he's gone.
It ain't like that, Miss Wright. And I'm sure Miss McCullough's not the kind of woman to let herself be picked up by strangers, let alone people she barely knows.
That'd be a stranger, Zach.
Oh, shush. Let me have my fun. And didn't I say you can call me Hannah?
Meh.
This right after you introduced yourself as my friend in front of my husband.
Damn, she noticed.
I do believe this isn't how friends address each other. Too formal, don't you think?
I'm sorry. She gives the card back to me nevertheless, and with it her mood fades into a more pensive one. That sneeze is coming back, dude. An odd look settles on her face, yearning, a bit wistful, as she looks back towards the shop's display window. There's nothing remotely interesting in it for me when I follow her line of sight, though. A few trinkets here and there, a fur rug, a sofa, a wooden side table, and a lamp, all tastefully picked and arranged to resemble a typical antique living room. Good God. On second thought, it does look comfortable. But why they added a crib beside it? Ha! Unless, of course, the people they're hoping to market are those who already have children, or about to have one. Then maybe it is fitting. Peculiar choice of decorations aside, it makes for a nice icebreaker. Oh, don't ask her about that, please. If it's not on the same level of weird and completely out of the blue. It's still leagues better than the awkward silence, which is definitely too out of character for a personality like Miss Hannah's. How should I start the conversation? Oh God, I don't know. I don't know. How about I think that one looks cute?
Ooh, I think that one looks cute.
I did it. Hannah balks, to my surprise, shuffling 2 steps away from the window and glares at it with such vehemence. I have never seen that word before. What the fuck does that mean? I honestly cannot tell considering she's blushing, but she's also angry. Is she tsundere right now? I don't know. As if it did something remotely scandalous. Ah! A funny sight when taken out of context, and I probably will be laughing. And I probably will be laughing, really, if I understand what warranted such a reaction from her.
I wasn't looking at the crib.
Okay, woman, calm down!
Wasn't really talking about the crib, Hannah.
Very good then. But it wasn't the crib, all right.
Okay, it was a nice lamp, Jesus.
Alright, I get you. But that's not it. Honest. I was just saying the stuff that was on display there looks nice.
Or cute, the way you put
or
it.
at least as nice that it can be compared to the ones we visited earlier. But I'm sure your interior designer has something different in mind for your mansion, so don't mind me.
Oh, Jesus, Zach. I was hoping that would be enough to cut the topic short. Instead, she sighs, leans against the wall closest to her. Good Lord. And runs her hand through a lock on her hair. I'm leaving out words and replacing them with other words. I am making my own sentence. I'm mad-libbing this. God damn. There is a far-flung look in her eyes, even as she's fixed on the concrete curb. I got this.
You need to stop looking at people like that, sweetie.
With my eyes? I'm so sorry.
I'm afraid I don't quite catch your drift, ma'am.
I suppose you wouldn't be aware of it.
Huh? With kindness? Oh my God.
Do you know you always carry this kind of phase? Like you're always staring at the world with this honest look. Like all there is to see is all the good in it.
Why are you telling me to stop?
Frankly, I don't see anything wrong if it's like that. I mean, there always has to be something in it. You know, a sprinkle of kindness here and there. Otherwise, we'd all be miserable.
True that, my dude.
For you, maybe. Some people have to fight through it just to see that. And kindness isn't always a great thing to have around. Sometimes too much of it can hurt.
Makes you wonder where this is coming from. How bad things have really gone for her as to have this view. Whew. I do understand her sentiment, really I do. Still, when it's the last thing you can cling to when things have gone irreversibly bad, sometimes you simply don't get to make that choice.
Besides, the point is, it's impossible to lie when a person is looking at you like that. Or I could, but I'd feel like a horrible person afterwards.
It's like you're lying to a puppy, you just can't fucking do it.
Did you hear that, Mr. Zach? You just made me feel like a horrible person.
Well, now you're making me feel like a horrible person.
I sort of wish I had one like it. Just so people would stop lying to my face.
Or you can start by being honest with yourself. It shouldn't be quite hard. Friends don't lie to each other, don't they?
I guess so.
So what was the lie?
She draws in a breath, lays a soothing hand on her stomach, and...
That it was really the crib I was looking at earlier, silly.
Oh, God!
You're right, Uncle Zach. It's cute, but the pattern's not to my taste.
No.
I'm pretty sure Marianne could do something about that, though.
Uncle? Oh.
At the moment, what I should really be worried about is if I'm ever going to be a good mother to this child.
I don't know.
Ned, I can't even tell the father he's going to be one in a few months' time.
Okay, she's venting. I understand now.
Probably doesn't even want anything to do with this whole pregnancy thing. What am I going to do, Zach? Because right now, I'm absolutely at a loss.
Oh.
That was such a loaded vent, and he's just like, oh God, let me process this for a second. A beat.
Oh.
He got it. The realization strikes me like a ton of bricks suddenly bearing down on me. More than astonishment must have shown on my face because Hannah lets out a chuckle. The slump on her shoulders disappears altogether underneath her mirth.
Don't look so surprised, dearie. Tied the knot 7 years ago, remember?
And it took you this long.
Don't you think it's bound to happen?
I've met Luke. You wouldn't think so. She brandishes her hand in front of me, the unassuming silver band on her finger glinting against the late morning sunlight for a second. She eyes it lovingly, almost tenderly, despite the trace of sadness in her voice. My butt is hurting. I've been sitting in this chair for too long. I need somebody to come here and massage my butt while I record. For all I know, there's an entire story there. I'd ask, but that would be too inappropriate, even for friends. It's not my place to meddle to begin with.
Or at least that's what they've been saying early on. My whole social circle would be saying it's a long time coming.
But the kid is something you want, right?
Oh, Zach, you are now part of something bigger now.
Because if it ain't, then that's a whole other problem.
Whew, sure is.
Of course. I wouldn't deny I've been hoping to have him or her for a long time now. But then, now that we're here, all of a sudden, there are a whole lot of other things to be worried about. Business, a new home, public image, my own husband, and I don't know. I didn't really have anyone for a role model. I practically grew up with nursemaids pampering me every step of the way. What if it happens to this baby as well?
Don't hire a nursemaid.
Oh, I can already see how this will end.
Huh. I guess it's not just my sister.
What?
You and my sister. I mean, you're both having jitters or
Yes,
something
yes,
like that.
yes,
That's what it's called, right? First baby jitters?
Oh boy.
Mind you, she was really convinced she'd do everything wrong then. He even called me in the middle of the night. Has to switch places the day she found out she's carrying a new member of the family. Never mind how utterly impossible her request is.
Oh God.
I'm quite sure I haven't done anything of that sort yet.
Oh, you don't know that? My brother-in-law has been telling me things 5 weeks into my sister's pregnancy. Since she's one cranky pregnant lady.
Thank God I live like 50 miles from her.
Man, good thing I found a place for myself years before that bundle of joy arrived, huh?
It can't be that awful.
Who knows? I think we'd better leave it for Mr. Right to decide, yeah?
Can we not?
Provided he comes around. He just sounds so repulsed every time the idea is brought up.
Then maybe you should say it to his face. No mincing of words or beating around the bushes.
And if he says no?
I don't think he really has a choice now, does he?
You haven't even told him yet.
I don't want it. Go away.
Besides,
No.
that's his kid. Don't people usually say fatherhood changes men?
Maybe he'll become a nice person. Who knows?
I wouldn't call myself a living testament, of course. But there ought to be something that will hit him in that idea alone.
A wrecking ball would be nice.
Huh. That's an idea. Laughter escapes me before I can stop it, and for a moment I thought I have done something wrong when she doesn't join in. She's still her he's still her husband, no matter what jest or complaint she hurls about him behind the media's eyes or in the presence of people she trusts. But when she does, her chuckle, a small hesitant sound at first, I find the rest of my unease slipping away.
Well, whatever it is, my point is, you've got no idea what will happen. In the same way, you don't know if you'll be a good mom. Trust me, my sister's been there. Perfectly normal. If, my opinion matters, though.
A long second of indecision goes by. I can feel her eyes, filled with nothing but curiosity, boring into me while she waits for the rest. It's just a simple sentiment, but one thing I think she needs to hear for all the doubts she's... I need to read that again. It's just a simple sentiment, but one thing I think she needs to hear for all the doubts she's unwittingly places on herself. I'm not sure if it should come from me. Come from me. I'll be damned.
I think you'll be a great mother, Hannah.
If she has an answer to that, I don't get to hear it, nor does she get to say it. Hello. Alright, my reading was horrible this episode, but I tried, and that's all that matters. I give myself a C+. A C+ for reading. It's been 20 minutes, 21 minutes, almost 22 minutes. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Hopefully this was an okay one with my new computer, and blah, 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 blah. You guys are great, blah, 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 bye-bye.